So my first impression of Ann and Dave, I came here my sophomore year of high school, and I first heard about indoor as soon as I came here. My first pep assembly, I saw the show Coming Home, and then a Stay Connected, and I thought those were really cool. And so I ended up meeting Dave, and I don't think he even knew who I was or anything about me. I said hi to him, but then my junior year, I got more involved with Ann and Dave during outdoor season Fathoms. And I got to really work with both of them and really enjoyed working with both of them. Anne is just this super sweet girl in tech who will just help you with anything you need and is willing to go through mountains just to help her guard. And then Dave is a determined drum tech, the drum god who will do anything for any one of his students, and really have been two people to influence my high school experience the most.
My first impression of Ann and Dave, that was, let's see if I can remember. I thought Dave and Ann were a little bit scary at first, just because I was a little freshman and I wasn't super used to everybody at the high school level getting ready for marching band. And I thought they were, especially Dave, was a little tough with the drill block in the beginning of band camp my freshman year because I wasn't used to it, but that was just a little bit of what I ended up experiencing. I love the experience that I've had with them throughout these 4 years going through.
My first impression of Dave was after a rehearsal one night in Beatles. I went up to him and I asked him how I could do better. And he made a comment about my posture, and I never really thought about it because I came into the marching band season late and had like a 5-minute tutorial on how to march. And then my first impression about Anne was more so at the indoor reveal party. I don't really remember much from outdoor that year, but I remember at the indoor reveal party when you opened up the board how just blown away I was by it and how creative I thought you were. And it was a cool experience, and I can still remember it to this day.
When I first got here freshman year, I was just so excited, ready to learn, and they were like the first stepping stone that I got into like the real music world, and they were the ones that like truly cared about us. And I guess it really shows even now, like, that they want us to perform a show almost for them, and like this would help them cope with whatever they needed. And when I first heard the show, it was so amazing. Like, this was the first time I was like, I am so glad that we're doing this show, and no other show could ever top this.
All right, so first impression of Anne, I expected her to be tall, really into yoga, and just like mean. But when I seen her at band camp, I'm just like, okay, she's short, she's really loud, and just from the start, I knew she was gonna be a huge inspiration to me, and I just knew that she was gonna lead me into great things, and just from band camp, she just really started pushing me the day one.
Anne seemed pretty cool. I could tell she was gonna be feisty, so I was kind of scared of her, but you know, it's cool. And Dave, he's got that face. You know, like that not mean, I didn't mean mean, but like he has a serious face, so it's kind of intimidating. So yeah, I guess that was my impression.
My favorite memory of Ann and Dave, well, I think my favorite memory is just with Ann. We have this inside joke of, "Are you okay? No, are you okay?" And really every time I see her, I ask, but it still always puts a smile on my face. It's really great. And then Dave is just, I don't think I have a specific favorite memory because he's just an awesome person to talk to, whether it's as a tech or a teacher. I think one of my more embarrassing ones would have to be the California trip, the consequences after, and them coming up and talking to me, and Dave giving the cliche dad look of "I'm disappointed," but we learned from it, and I'm just glad that they could still be here today to teach me everything I know.
Dave, I don't really have a particular favorite memory of you, but I just have a bunch of like little memories of when you do like just funny stuff. Like you'll pick up a flag and mess around, or you'll make like a funny dad joke. And there's just like a bunch of those, and they're really funny. And I have kind of two favorite memories. One is the night. While I mean it was not like the most positive memory, it impacted my life more than like anything else it ever has. And then my other favorite memory is when you showed up in Colorado and surprised me. It just like it made me so happy, and then like you being able to come watch me perform in the Broncos Stadium was just crazy to me, and it means
One
a lot
time
to
at
me.
band camp, I think it was sophomore or junior year, I had a quarter, because, you know, Dave always says squeeze your quarter when we're backwards marching or marching in general, and I had a quarter in my pocket that when we finished a rep, I threw on the ground and made sure it was really loud and everybody noticed.
Definitely a band camp memory. Definitely. Sophomore year, we were going over a bit of music theory with Dave because he was getting a little peed off that we weren't doing everything right. And basically he was getting in this moment, he's like, how many times do I have to tell you this? And we're like, once. And then you hear me murmur, twice if you're crazy. And the just whole room just went into laughter. It's so great.
I don't know if I have a specific one, but overall, I'd say the bus rides. They were always the funnest, and we just kind of goofed around and, you know, goofed, I guess.
So my favorite memory of my guard career here at Buckeye has to be when it was the WGI Regional and Emery was crying, I was crying, Ann was yelling, and she yelled at me, she's like, get out! And I was like, okay. So I got out, Ann followed me, and just gave me like a speech about life, guard, everything, and just that moment just felt really impactful to me because I knew from all that tension that was in the room, from that moment, I just knew like the words that she was saying really were carefully thought out so that I could understand and just calm down. And just the words she said to me were like, I love you. Just all of that just like calmed me down. And just from that day, I knew I could trust her. I knew I could put my faith in her.
Lesson I learned from Dave in particular, besides the fact that one more time never, ever, ever means one more time, ever, is that to be good at hiding or playing off mistakes that you make in marching, and that can apply to life too. You can just play it off and recover. Be good. You don't have to be perfect. Be perfect at recovering.
I would say that it would have to be that you're not always going to win, but you need to have fun along the way and know that you tried your hardest. And really, that can be applied to all of life. So I think that's super important that they are able to
I
teach
say
us that.
practice because practicing is probably one of the main things we should do. And although we do goof around a lot, I feel like in the end, we practice, I guess, to get good.
Probably the biggest lesson I learned from being here at Buckeye is to not jump to conclusions and have a bad attitude, because when I got here, my attitude was really rotten and just not right. And I just learned so much from this band and Ann and Dave and everyone, Miss White, to just not be so like mean and aggressive to everyone and just like let everyone in with open arms, and to like it's okay to let my guard down, you know. And that's probably like the biggest thing I look back at, because if it wasn't for Buckeye, I'll still be in a ditch with like a bad attitude. And I'm just like so grateful to have this experience to spend here and just learn and improve my attitude in so many ways.
My two biggest lessons learned is don't kiss people just because they tell you you're pretty, and don't light things on fire.
A lesson I learned during indoor season was probably leadership and discipline, and knowing that there's a time to joke and there's a time to get work done. And I think that's a super good asset to have because in the workplace in the future and in college, you can have fun, but when it comes down to it, you really have to get work done. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned through indoor season. The show to me hits a very soft spot. I have a story just like everybody else has a story. Like Ann said, everybody's got daddy issues, and I've got a story myself. But this really hits home for me, and it just means so much that we're able to put our emotions and our thoughts and our passion for this into a percussion show. And it's unbelievable. I never thought, if you would have asked me what show we would have been doing this year, I would not have guessed The Last Goodbye. I heard this show for the first time at the reveal party, and it gave me goosebumps. It continuously gives me goosebumps. And this show is just always going to be a soft spot in my heart and always going to be my favorite show that I've ever performed, regardless of outdoor or indoor. This has been my favorite show by far, even coming in so many weeks late.
This show means a lot to me just because, like, it's my last year, and I'm trying to go out with a bang. And even though there isn't really like a deeper meaning other than we're birds, it's still a lot of fun to perform, and I really like the energy that you have to bring to the performance of it. But I think the underlying meaning of nonconformity was my favorite, about learning how to be yourself, and going through that show just taught me a lot of self-confidence, and it meant a lot to me.
First ever indoor, which was sophomore year, and it was Stay Connected. Basically, it was my first time ever playing quads, and it was going to be the last time ever playing with one of my friends, Elijah. Some of you know him, some of you may not, I don't know. He's marching vision now, but the show meant a lot because it was my first stepping stone into like the quad world, and also in a ironic way, my last goodbye, kind of like what it is this year, to Elijah. So that kind of meant a lot to me, that show. And really, I'm always going to be thinking about it, and I don't know, it's always going to stick.
Nonconformity was, or is, a huge part of my life because that show really brought our true colors, and just seeing everyone's faces, the crowd's faces when we brought the colors and were expressing how we were through movement and guard, I just really felt a connection to that show. It just started off as dull and just like basic, and I feel like that's how my life was for like a long period of time, and just to see that show progress, it's like parallel to my life, and it's just a really written and just like connected show. Every day I went home, listened to the song, I did my work outside, I did improv to that show. Every second of my life during that season, I was spinning to that show. And when we actually did the show for people, I cried all the time because like it was just a huge, huge, huge impact to this day. I still even wear my wig to this day. And I still dance with my wig because that show just really brought out my color and just my personality.
Okay, so the show reminds me of my grandpa, and he passed away in November, which was pretty tough because he got sick, so whew. At first I didn't know what he had because I wasn't told, but it turns out he had cancer and didn't have long to live, so that was kind of hard. And hold on. Okay. It was kind of hard because I never really got the chance to like say goodbye. And I think that's the part that hurts the most, because sorry. I used to hang out with my grandpa quite a lot, but when he got sick, I never really had the chance to talk to him about him passing away or anything, and I never really got to say goodbye. But whew. Just thinking about how he got sick, and it kind of sucked watching him slowly, not be there, because it got to a certain point to where he had to be in hospice care, so we brought him home, and it was fine at first, because he was still able to talk and like do do not a lot, but be somewhat mobile. But after he got like super sick to the point where he was about to pass away, that's when it hurt the most, because I wasn't able to talk to him or even say goodbye, even though I wanted to. And I mean, I did talk to him, but obviously he wasn't really there, so he couldn't really hear me. But I just, I'm trying not to cry. But I guess in a way I got to say goodbye, but not really. And that's really why I think about my grandpa when we perform, and usually that's what really helps me get into the moment of crying and being sad, all that good stuff. But I think that's it. Just my grandpa and saying goodbye, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
So, a goodbye message isn't really what I want to do, because I'm still going to be part of your life. I'm still going to go to your house, Anne and Dave. I'm still going to go see you. So, this isn't really a goodbye message, but this is more of a thank you message, because I'm just so grateful for you guys. Like, Dave, you've like shaped me into a man. You want to say, every time I made like a little comment about being tired, like, man up. Or every time I made a comment about, oh, that's so dumb, man up. And that just, those words really just carried me throughout the seasons here at Buckeye, and just really like made me think about how I am as a person, And for Anne, yeah, you're amazing. You already know how I feel about you, so there's no way to explain how I feel about you, because you already know. So I just love you guys so much. Thank you for everything.
So, first off, I want to say thank you to, Anne and Dave, obviously, because you both have been a really big impact in my life. Christian, I'm crying again. But Anne, first I'll go with Anne, because you're not really art director, but you're guard director, and you were always there this season, even though you said you weren't gonna be here anymore, which I found kind of funny. But I want to say thank you, because you always, I guess, I don't know what to say. You just kind of knew what you were doing, I guess, with guard, and whenever guard and percussion would go on trips and we were being too loud or being us, you'd put us in our place, which was kind of nice, because sometimes we need to be put in our place, you know, we get wild. Not really, but some of us do. And yeah. And Dave, I want to say thank you. You've been a really big impact in my life, and I'm glad I got the chance to join percussion, because, you know, it's just, I love it. I didn't know I would, because I thought I'd always be playing baritone, which I'm glad I don't. I thought it was going to be the only thing I played during marching season and throughout all of the rest of my high school, but then I learned more instruments, and then I learned cymbals with percussion, and I enjoy playing cymbals so much. It's kind of crazy. We're all like, you're pretty intimidating, honestly. It's kind of scares me sometimes, but you know, it's cool. Sometimes it's nice to be afraid. Even, I guess, that probably sounds kind of weird, but, you know. You really, like, helped me learn so many new things and taught us so much throughout. I've only been here 2 seasons of indoor, but you helped me specifically learn a lot, and it just means a lot to me that you were there, because you knew what to say, I guess. Even though sometimes you were a little scary when you'd get mad when we were messing around too much or not doing what we were told. It was kind of scary. It was really scary, actually. I got scared, which also put me in that mode of like, I gotta get this done. And yeah, and without you being here, I would have probably never learned cymbals. And honestly, I don't think I would have ever tried out for indoor or auditioned, I guess. But yeah, you also helped me get really comfortable playing cymbals too, because I was always pretty nervous about playing in front of like everyone, but you really helped me overcome that, which is nice. And yeah, overall, just thank you and for everything you did. You've been really impactful, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess this is the part where I say goodbye to Ann and Dave here. I guess what I just have to say is thank you so much. I would not be the person I am today without you guys, and quite frankly, my high school experience would have been a lot different without you guys. Nothing would have been the same. You guys made everything so much better. You guided me through this entire experience and made me such a great person that I am today. And just please keep doing what you guys are doing. You're helping so many people's lives, including my own, but what you're doing is a great thing. And I hope you keep doing it for years to come, because you guys are just fantastic people.
I guess I just want to say to Anna, Dave, and to the rest of you guys that aren't graduating, just keep pushing through, keep having such a passion for music. It'll get you places, and you'll enjoy life, and you're not getting rid of me. I'll be back, because I'm only going to Tempe, and you guys can't get rid of me that easily, and I've still got family in the band, and I'll continue to have family in the band for another 5 years. So I'll be back.
So I'm definitely not going to be able to get through this without crying. So I'm sorry. But, and I just, like, you have made the biggest impact on my life of anybody I've ever met. And everything that's resulted as a fact of meeting you has been nothing but good and positive and made my life better and made me happier. You brought me in freshman year, and you showed me what a home the color guard community can be, not only at Buckeye, but the one I found at Battalion, and you gave me a home when I didn't have one anymore. And I'm never gonna say goodbye to you because I'll always come back.
So it's the worst part of the video because I hate goodbyes. And as you guys know, I'm not going to be around very much anymore. And it's sad because this has been the best part of my high school career, is being able to come into an indoor program and meet such a great family and be around by so many great people. Without these people, I wouldn't be who I am today. Last year, I never thought the second semester of my junior year could get as good as it did, and I joined indoor, and it was the best experience of my life. It gave me such a thrill to perform. Every competition, I'd be hyped up, on my feet, ready to go, and this year it was just the same. I'm so thankful that I was able to come back late into the season with open arms and be accepted into such a great family, because I think everybody just needs to realize that this is a family. This is our family. This is who we are, and this is who we all are destined to be. And we all love this sport, and we all do it together. And I just want to say thank you to both Ann and Dave for helping me become the person I am today, because without them, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have succeeded in so many things that I've done. And thank you to the whole ensemble for making me feel like I had a family, and for making the second semester of both my junior and senior year something to truly remember. I'll never forget this group as long as I live, and I will never forget the great things that I've done in this group, and that they've done for me just in return. I love everyone. I love Ann and Dave. I love the whole Coriel family, and any volunteer who has helped. I love them all. They all are like family to me, and I'll always feel welcome in their arms. So, thank you, and goodbye.